At this point, we've heard this story one too many times. Another young woman meets a gruesome end, and the killer conveniently claims he had nothing to do with it. But this time, the story is as disturbing as it is suspicious. Abdulraman Balo, the so-called cleric, is still doubling down on his story. He insists he did not kill Yetunde. According to him, she was his girlfriend, and after leaving a naming ceremony, she came to his house complaining of hunger. He claims he stepped out to buy her food only to return and find her gasping for air before dying right in front of him. He says he panicked. He didn't know what to do. So instead of calling for help, instead of reporting it to the police, he made a choice, a monstrous choice. He took her body, dismembered it, and tried to dispose of it in pieces. If this sounds familiar, it's because we've heard it before, over and over again. But let's take a closer look at his claims. Yetunde was seen eating at the naming ceremony before she left. So how was she suddenly starving when she got to his house? And even if we believe for 1 second that she died of natural causes, why would his first instinct be to cut her into pieces? Why didn't he call for help? But here's where his story falls apart completely. If his only concern was getting rid of the body, why were some of her remains still in his house? The police found body parts, soaked in chemicals, sitting in a bucket in his kitchen. That doesn't sound like disposal. That sounds like something much darker. Investigators need to find out if all of Yetunde's remains are accounted for. Because, let's be real, we've seen cases like this before. Killers dismember their victims, not just to hide the crime, but to sell body parts, organ trafficking, money rituals, or something even more sinister. Balo, this so-called cleric, had no real job. His social media made him look important, pictures with high-ranking figures, religious leaders, and community men. But behind the facade, a struggling, jobless man with nothing to his name. And let's not ignore the most chilling fact. Anyone who is capable of cutting up a human being piece by piece is more than capable of murder. No one dismembers a body out of fear. That takes time. That takes effort. That takes the kind of cold, calculated evil that no innocent person has. His story isn't just suspicious, it's insulting. He had one chance to prove his innocence. If Yetunde had truly died naturally, an autopsy could have confirmed it. But he made sure that was no longer possible. He destroyed the only evidence that could have saved him. Now, the only question left is whether the legal system will do its job. Too many times, we've seen criminals walk free because of connections, bribes, or power. But Yetunde deserves justice. No excuses, no cover-ups. Stay safe. Because sometimes the people you trust the most, the ones who preach, the ones who pray, are the ones hiding the darkest secrets. Justice must be served. No excuses, no cover-ups. Too many cases like this go ignored. But Yetunde's story cannot be one of them. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and be careful who you trust. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments.